Geek Squad.
It's the 1st of December. It's a Tuesday. My name is Kobby Spiky Nkrumah. You're tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM. And the show is Geek Squad, the show that talks about technology, science, tech again for the next 52 minutes. Actually, 51 minutes. Because, it just turned 7:09. 19 hours, 9 minutes. And it's been a while, haven't we? We haven't been around for a while because of Champions League. But today we're here. And I'm happy, I'm proud to be presenting the show from the new studios. Yeah, you know how it goes down. Abiyoki, you're not here, but I'm going to drop one Geek Squad.
Geek Squad.
You know how it is. Anyway, I'm joined first of all by Kobby Spiky. She's Employability Associate of Ghana Tech Lab. Hi, Na.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. So, Na, you're an Employability Associate.
Yes.
Who's an Employability Associate?
Okay, so I would first start by defining what employability is.
Okay.
So employability is your ability to be able to gain employment and also maintain it. And if possible, change it if you are not happy with the old employment. So with that regard, what my job seeks to do is I help people from our training program to get internship opportunities and then job opportunities after our trainings.
Okay. Now, this show is a tech show. So that means that employability in the tech world.
Yes,
right?
please.
So and it says that you are the Employability Associate of the Ghana Tech Lab. So that means that you're right in line with us.
Yes, please.
Okay, so tell us about the new project, the Digital Jobs Fair, which is why you're here.
Yes, please. So the Digital Jobs Fair was brought about. So we sat down and thought, after our training programs, we have internships. And then we give them soft skills training during the internships as well.
Right.
But some of them are not able to get retained after the internship. So we decided to come up with a program that will link the job seekers and then the companies in one roof.
Right.
So that they'll be able to mingle and then possibly land job opportunities.
Okay, so you're helping people get jobs, or internships and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Do I have to pay to be a part of this?
No, please. It's absolutely free.
It's free.
Whether you want to come as a participant to meet with the employers or a company who wants to exhibit and also meet with potential employees, it's absolutely free.
Okay. So it's happening in Accra?
Not just in Accra. It's happening in 13 regions across the country.
Wow.
So if you want more information about it, you just have to visit www.digitaljobs.ghanatechlab.com.
digitaljobs.ghanatechlab.com. If you didn't get that, it's digital, because it's Geek Squad, I mentioned, we only do digital, no analog. digitaljobs.ghanatechlab.com, right?
Yes, please.
Great. Now, if I'm a company, say, in which I am, and I want to, I'm interested in a job fair, I want to get some nerds and geeks to join my company, how do I sign up?
So you either go to our website, like I earlier mentioned, www.digitaljobs.ghanatechlab.com, or you call this number 055 967 3960.
055-967-3960.
Yes, please.
I'm very good with numbers like that. So say it one time. I think they prefer your voice to mine.
Okay. 055 967 3960.
Okay, so if you're a company, you want to sign up, you want to get some digital people for your company, or other people can also join.
So we are basically doing it for people in the digital space. So software developers, web developers, graphic designers, anybody in the tech space.
Great. So final words. What should people expect at the Digital Jobs Fair?
So with the Digital Jobs Fair, we are going to have a lot of tech companies coming. Also, we are going to have panel discussions with HR companies, panel discussions with people in the tech space, software developers, how their journeys have been. And then we're going to have workshops. So some of those workshops are going to be about interviews, how to write job search documents, where to find jobs if you're in search of jobs. And then there's also going to be counseling for people who want to talk to people in terms of help with their job search if they're having issues. Let me put it that way. And then there's also going to be raffle and lots of fun things to happen on that day.
Prizes.
Yes.
Gadgets.
No, really, souvenirs.
It should be gadgets because, we like gadgets. Those people sitting down there, they like gadgets. Anyways, but it will be fun. We will pass through. The Geek Squad will pass through. Right, guys? We'll definitely pass through. Thank you very much, Nakode, for coming to tell us about the Digital Jobs Fair. And trust everyone who's looking, you're done with school, you're done with, or you probably have been out of job for a while. You're trying to change jobs like you mentioned, or change your employability. You just have to come to Digital Jobs Fair if you're a digital person. Yes.
So can I add a few words?
Sure.
So it's happening, the one in Accra is happening inside Accra Digital Center.
Right.
On the 3rd of December. It's going to start at 9 a.m. So we look forward to seeing you. And then we are partnering with developers Invoke, iSpace, Accra Digital Center, MasterCard Foundation, and then the Ministry of Communications to make this happen. Great.
That's a great team. Thank you very much once again for coming, Nakode, and we'll have you come and teach us how to be employable. Some of us need new skills, right, guys? Yeah. See, they are nodding. It's true. Anyways, so the conversation for today, we will be talking about TV technology. We want to understand TV technology. It's Christmas season. Black Friday just passed. I saw a lot of people queuing to buy TVs, from HD TVs to 4K to OLED, QLED, SLED, AMOLED, everything LED right now. Like, your TV doesn't have a LED, it's not going to sell. But do you actually know what that LED means? Do you know whether you're getting yourself the good LED or the bad LED? And yes, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about TV technology all the way, and we are talking about how it's evolved from when we used to watch Meow Inisha. If you've watched Meow Inisha and you are not married, as the memes go, you should have 3 kids by now, no? The ones that you tune to change channels. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Me, Winston, Michael, and Raymond. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Ghanaians, the stakes are high for our country this December. Don't stay home.
Remember, this election is about your future. Which of the candidates would you trust with managing our economy better? Which leader can give us free SHS and enhance the education of our children? Who can you trust to protect us during dark periods such as COVID-19? Who has the competence to protect our economy, build roads and dams?
Do you remember the dark periods of Doomsaw, Create, Loot and Share Brigade?
This December, remember, we cannot afford the risk. Let's vote for Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP to protect our progress.
There are more ways to listen to Joy 99.7 FM. Download the My Joy Online app today. Available on Google Play for Android, App Store for Apple devices, Huawei App Gallery for Huawei, and also available on myjoyonline.com.
Welcome back to the show. If you're listening to us right now and you want to watch us, we're live on Joy 99.7 FM on Facebook and on YouTube. Joy News, Joy 997 FM. So, because what we're going to be talking about this evening is quite visual. So, if you don't get it, you might get lost. So, I'd advise just log on to Facebook, search for Joy 997 FM, and then you'll see the Geek Squad live stream. Just click on it, watch, drop a comment, and enjoy our new studio. Anyways, yes, guys, welcome.
Thank you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been. And seeing the gray, black guys on one side and then colorful guys on one side.
Which actually works well for the whole television conversation.
See?
Monochrome versus color.
We've got this plan. You know, the black and white people, the monochrome guys on one side, and then the OLED, QLED, SLED, everything LED guys on the other side. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. Evolution of TV. Raymond, you've been in broadcasting for a while. Currently, what's the standard? What are we broadcasting in?
Well, it depends on which side of the world you are.
In Ghana.
Now, in Ghana,
Let me clarify.
in Ghana, majority, I think all of them are doing standard definition, which is SD. Yeah, there is. I've seen 2 HD channels on the multi TV platform so far, but I would say everyone else is doing standard definition. That's what we are doing now.
Okay, now this is where we're going to have to explain things. I'll tell you why this became a subject of discussion. Someone called me and said, oh, he's seen this TV. They said it's 8K, but he's got 10K.
What?
So, you know.
Hold up. You mean he has 10K CDs?
Yes.
Okay.
The TV is 8K.
Okay.
And it's one brand, OLED, you know, very slim, nice. And I said, wait, is the TV 8K? He's like, yeah, so he can afford it and you actually have 2K extra for a home theater. You know, so people don't understand that the 8K is actually a resolution and not a price. I'm sure if that person walked into a shop and saw 4K on the box, he would say, oh, I'll have 6,000 left.
I'll buy 2.
I'll buy 2, exactly. You probably buy 2 4Ks with his 10K CDs. You see, so first off, let's educate people on the terminologies. This SD, you started off with SD. What is SD? What? Memory card. I know SD is memory card.
No. So that's the thing with technology. We use a lot of alphabet everywhere. So the thing is, for TV, the resolution you are watching, right, is called a definition.
Right.
So we have a standard definition, and then we have a high definition. Right. Above the high definition, we have ultra high definition, which is what people normally call 4K. Even though technically 4K and UHD are slightly different. There's a difference inside. Beyond that, right, then you have the 8K and the 12K resolution. That is 12,000. The compression.
So it's not a price.
It is not a price.
Okay.
It is the pixel density that we are putting out for your eye to see. Now, one of the reasons why I love Apple products, right, they do not waste resources on things that are not necessary.
Like
the human eye cannot see beyond 4K. So
technically,
8K. Apple will say we are sticking with retina display, and it ends there because everything else is a waste of money.
Well, people like Michael will see 4K because they wear glasses.
4K at best, and
Yes.
even with my glasses, I certainly will not be seen in 8K. 8K is like fighter pilot territory, the ultra best of the best,
like
creme
me.
de la creme.
You know, like people like me.
But
But
you
yes,
watch an 8K screen, right? Watch the screen, and then watch the real thing, right? You realize that the screen is lying to you.
And I feel like that is the point of immersion and entertainment.
exactly.
So the eye can appreciate 8K, but it doesn't necessarily see in it. And it's still fair. Because, I mean, so is Apple going to stay? I don't want to make this an Apple conversation, but is Apple going to stay?
No,
at
we're not
4K?
going to make it an Apple conversation. He made mention of pixel density.
Yeah.
And for the sake of my listeners, I think we need to explain these pixels. Because if I'm watching a TV, you've told me SD is this,
Standard
HD is
definition,
that,
high
and then you have
definition.
high definition.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of definitions,
Yeah.
but I'm still not seeing any dictionary on the table.
Okay.
But I had a pixel.
Okay.
So what is this pixel if it's not from Google?
So if you take a screen, right,
Yes.
the area on your screen that you're looking at, right, is there are lights that emit the colors. Now, if anybody has seen the LEDs that they use to do advertising outside, right, you will notice that there are dots on it.
Yes.
Technically speaking, that is a pixel. One dot of that is a pixel. A pixel is the smallest unit of light emitted on a screen.
Right.
Okay? So when we calculate the amount of pixels that have been squeezed into a picture, right, that's the pixel density. How many pixels does a screen fit to take a picture? Now, there are mistakes made when people talk about pixel density and aspect ratio.
Right.
And then resolution. But
Pixel
those
density, aspect ratio, resolution.
those
Okay.
are a bit engineering side, right? The important thing for you to know when you're buying a screen is aspect ratio is the length to the breadth of the screen. Pixel density is how many pixels have been squeezed into the area of that screen.
Right.
So if it's made a 32-inch or a 64-inch or 85-inch, it doesn't really matter how many inches it is. How many pixels have been squeezed
in there.
in there is important. The less the pixel density, the less the picture will look.
Great.
No matter what it is. If it's 8K, 12K, 24K, if the pixel density is not good, your picture is not going to look good.
Now, you see, for the sake of visualization, I created this mosaic because when I was reading on pixels, one of the explanations is what you gave, which is like little tiny dots. And what you're seeing on the screen, if you're watching us live on Facebook, is an image that is composed of various little images. So we can call those little images pixels, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now, when those images come together, they form a big image.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this on Facebook, you'd see what we're talking about. You see on the white side, tiny, yes, for the sake of Raymond, you have apples in there.
I think it's important to mention for those who are streaming online, if it doesn't look clear, look in the bottom right corner of your screen where it says SD, or you see a little gearbox. Click on that, and then you see that it then says SD 720. Look for the highest number possible,
and then choose it.
And choose that, because then highest possible. Now that will be 720 or 1080 going up. Choose the highest number possible in order for the images to appear clearly, because it does tie into the conversation. Where the thing with online streaming, and we'll come to this as we're discussing this, the system you're streaming on will always try and use as little data as possible. And in doing that, a lot of times, picture quality is sacrificed. Not that the image that we are projecting right now, because of how it is designed, certain images do better at this than others. Because of how it is designed, it will come off very messed up if you are streaming on a lower quality. So if you're streaming online, please
choose the highest
quality possible.
So you can appreciate
exactly what you're seeing.
Which is essentially what we're talking about. So it ties in the conversation. The lower the resolution, the more terrible the picture quality.
So basically, the lower the resolution, the less the pixel density. That's
basically it. So the lower the resolution, you have bigger pixels filling each space.
Yeah.
So then I'll have like 320 by 240. So you have 320 pixels versus
in that space.
If
there's this thing people say 1080.
Yeah.
720. The actual resolution is 1920 by
1080. So you have 1920 pixels horizontally and then 1080 pixels vertically. So the more pixels, the better the quality, which is why 8K is not a price, but it's the number of pixels. So that's what, like 8 million pixels.
Technically, no. 8K is a marketing term.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you do the pixel density calculation for 4K, it's actually 3,000 and something.
Yeah.
It is not up to 4,000, but they just rounded it up. And then when they went to 8K, they did the same thing again. It's around 6,000, 7,000 and something.
Cool.
You get it? So they multiply the length and the breadth. That figure. We do it's 1920 by 1080.
Yeah.
They multiply it and then they get a figure and then they tell you it's 4K or it's 8K.
Okay.
So it's just a marketing ploy, really.
Now, what's interesting here is that, I understand now. 8K is the ultimate in TV, right?
There's 12K now.
Yeah, well, just for we know who's going to be looking at it. Anyway, I don't want to go there. Some people just go and buy 12K.
I mean,
but
I can chip in a little. What 12K is right now is for movies, like the movies you watch, the Avengers Endgame. They shoot in that high a resolution.
they shoot in 12K.
Yeah,
IMAX.
so that they can. Sometimes some of the shots you can zoom in. So now, very important, when you're showing this image with the explaining pixel density, you zoomed in. Now, if you have a 1080p image and a 4K image and an 8K, then 12K, the same zoom will give you a difference in quality. So if I zoomed into a 1080p picture, maybe 50%, and I did the same for a 4K and an 8K, the higher the K, the more vibrant that single thing I zoomed into will be. So normally people will shoot at 12K and then do export at 4K so that the compression, the original compression is there, but they then recompress to a smaller size. But it helps to maintain. And this is me talking as a photographer. Today I am.
Help me out to remind me. What is the division? Is it half or quarter whenever you are punching in to get to the next level? So let's say, for example, we start at 4K and want to crop at a 2K image out of that.
Thank you very much for going all nerdy right now. You guys have taken us from the basics to.
I'm going there.
The thing he's trying to get to, right? The relationship between 4K and HD, for instance, is four times HD.
So okay, that's what. You went and nerded
it all out. Okay.
So when you take one 1080p and you stack them four times, you get 4K.
Quick question before you even start there. Where does HD start?
720. 1280 by 720.
Depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to we the engineers, we don't call 720.
I won't take it. We are talking for the consumers.
Thank you very much. We're talking for the consumers.
So in a sense of broadcast engineering, right? Technically speaking, 720 is not called HD. It's called HD ready.
Ready, right. So HD is full HD 1080p.
Yes. So they have HD, we have FHD, and then we have HD ready. HD
Which
ready
is
the smaller one. They have a 720.
I remember when we were buying a TV back then, like about 10 years ago, most of the TVs were HD ready.
Yeah.
That meant that 720p, so they could play HD content, but they aren't actually
They are not
HD.
playing the full
So what's
resolution.
with all these terminologies being thrown around and, HD ready, HD? Can't we have a standard right now? What are we broadcasting in? SD, you mentioned.
Yeah.
So is there SD ready too?
No.
No, there's no SD ready because everybody was already ready for
history.
SD.
SD is history.
I mean, back to the black and white thing, SD transmits easily on a black and white TV as it would on a regular HD TV if you can connect it.
So, you mentioned that there's some channels broadcasting in HD in Ghana.
Yeah.
What resolution are they broadcasting in?
They are doing the full resolution,
1920 by 1080.
But they are doing I.
Yes.
Okay.
You notice that his broadcast always uses I.
Right. And then
photographers
always
use
do P because the amount of bandwidth you require to push P is just too expensive to do it on a digital space.
Right.
So you do I. Your eye will not see the difference.
Right. So there's a bit of quality taken out.
Yes.
But it's still.
Yes, your eye will not notice it.
You
So
can't tell the
why should we
difference.
pay for it?
Okay. Right. I think I understand. Now, I wanted to make this draw the similarity between smartphone cameras and this resolution that we're talking about. I remember back then when you had a Motorola V3, you were the ish in town. Flip that phone, take the camera, and then megapixel was what? 0.3 megapixels. Now, what's that in resolution? What's that in TV terms? That SD, HD?
No, that's so
That's
I don't know.
Fingernail,
So that's a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Right. And then we went to 2 megapixels. Now, what's that?
You're nowhere near TV resolution.
So TV resolution starts at what?
If you want to convert, let's say, SD to megapixels, right, you need to be doing around maybe 20, 30 megapixels, thereabout. You get it? The way photography calculates picture quality is so different from how broadcast calculates picture quality.
Okay.
Broadcast looks at how many frames of the picture goes in a second, right? So what your TV is doing is actually showing you series of pictures. It's not real motion.
Okay.
It is one picture, another picture, another picture that is showing to you very fast. Remember those when we were young, we used to have this flip book.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We do a picture of somebody, can you flip it and you see the motion?
Yeah.
That's exactly what TV does.
How many frames per second do we do here?
30, I'm sure.
30 or
No.
25.
No.
25.
So you see, you internet people. Broadcasters in Ghana, we do 25 frames or 50 frames.
Yeah.
Because there's a standard you need to follow, right?
Right.
So there's 1080i 50. That 50 is the hertz.
Mm-hmm.
But the frames per second is 25 frames per second.
Okay.
Online, you can computers normally do 30 and 60 frames
Yeah.
per second. Online, so
At 60 hertz.
yes.
Depending.
So online just mimics what your computer does.
Right.
But for TV, there are two standards, 60, 50. And that's because of your power, the power we consume.
Yeah, which is 50 hertz.
50 hertz.
Yeah.
If they don't synchronize, you remember the olden days of
You have
the
those
black
scan
TV,
lines
notice those
on the
lines
screen.
working
Yes,
on it.
yes, yes, yes.
That's the reason why.
Ah,
Did we
so
just show our age?
you know, yeah. I mean, we should have not shown that we are that grown, but yeah. Then again, we're talking about Miawenisha, so I'm sure people know how old we are already. Okay, so this means that most TVs, right? I mean, there's research that's proven that over 50% of TVs in Ghana right now are already HD TVs. Actually, more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means that all the SD content they were showing.
It's time to upgrade.
it's
Ghana is actually HD ready. Ghana can go HD, to be honest.
Ghana should go HD.
Wait,
Ghana should.
When you say HD ready, are we still using the same 720
No. As
Okay.
in,
full
majority
HD?
of the TVs in the country right
Are
now
capable of
are
1080p.
capable
Or
of
full
1080p,
HD, okay.
right?
Right.
1080i, sorry, for broadcast.
We are thankful. The amount of technology has really pushed us far. So
Yeah.
Well, other people are doing 4K, so we might as well just up the game already.
I think there are two issues involved here. One, the cost of bandwidth, right?
Oh, nice. Sorry, let me steal this one from you because I've actually been waiting for that section to pop up. So I actually have here a quick breakdown of data costs for bandwidth. So using 2 gig data,
Right.
2 gig data will allow you to stream 47 hours of low quality music. That's very low quality. It sounds like someone singing to you through a PVC pipe. Then I'll skip the rest, then go up to 17 hours of high quality music. So already you've more than halved the amount of data you can use. But we're talking about visual, so let's go. Low quality video, 6.5 hours is what 2 gigs of data will give you. Low quality, I'm going to assume, is somewhere below HD. So let's say
SD maybe.
SD.
Yeah, probably.
At best, let me say 480p. Probably less, but
Yeah.
roughly speaking, lower than HD. Anything below 720p. And usually when those numbers go down, they halve. So let's say roughly speaking, 360p. That's a better amount. Standard definition, 2.8 hours. So you've halved again. Bear in mind, this is the same 2 gigs of data you're using. Now, standard definition, let's go up. 720p, first level of HD, 2.2 hours. Well, that you get from your 2 gig. 1080p, you go down, 1.3 hours. Then
minutes.
2K, 0.6 hours. Yeah.
So with that 2 gig of data, the higher the
the
resolution.
more bandwidth you are consuming.
Interesting.
Oh, it gets best. The final one I have, I didn't even have the breakdown for 8K yet. At 4K, you won't get 30 minutes of video using 2 gig of data. 25 minutes.
Hence why we need 5G. But that's a conversation for another day.
Time.
So,
And you see, the interesting thing is that broadcast bandwidth is about 6 times more expensive than data.
Ooh.
now before you explain this, I think there was a video we found about the evolution of TVs, right from the, what do you call them? The boxes that had a very small cathode ray. What was it? Before the cathode ray. There were other things before cathode ray.
I don't know, cathode ray. Then we went to LED, LCD.
LCD plasma.
LCD. They went to plasma. They went to
Let's
LED.
see if you're old enough. Let's play the video and the audio.
The introduction of OLED TV is ushering in a new category of television. But how did we get here? After a spacewalk, an astronaut observed it is pitch black outside. Not the color black, but rather a complete absence of light.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. It really is.
Our perspective has evolved at an incredible pace in the past 50 years.
Yes, indeed. They've got the flag up now.
30 years before we walked on the moon, humankind got its first look at television in the 1939 New York World's Fair. This was a revolution in technology. But the world we see is in color, not black and white. 14 years later, a color image was produced by broadcasting 3 monochrome images simultaneously. Of course, we did not stop here. As our viewpoint evolved, so did our quest for more detail and a clearer view of our world. We were on a mission to reach higher contrast ratios, superior color gamut, and more energy efficiency. As a result, the 1980s welcomed the development of plasma and liquid crystal display televisions. But LCD crystals don't produce their own light. A dedicated light source is needed, making them thicker, heavier, and unable to produce a perfect black. Then came HD TV, a new digital standard with quadruple the resolution, 1,080 lines per frame, and a vastly clearer picture. With the introduction of the LED as their light source, LCD televisions became thinner, brighter, and crisper. The majority of new TVs manufactured and sold today fall into the category of LED-lit LCDs. But because of the backlight, they can never achieve a true black. Also, their contrast ratio is limited, especially when viewed off-center. Picture quality had hit a ceiling, and for things to truly evolve, a new technology was needed, which brings us to today. Large-screen organic light-emitting diode displays.
So, this, I heard him say, picture quality had hit a ceiling. So, yes, 8K last stop.
It may seem, I guess.
No, well, that's what we heard. But then, like we said earlier, 12K is here.
In a cinema where you have, I think, because the cinema screens are huge, it would make sense to put a larger resolution in there, so you have more pixels per that space. Yeah, well, see, I'm getting this.
Like Winston said, as a creator, it is exciting because it gives you more to
immersion.
Work with. Technically, it gives you the ability to zoom, amongst other things.
Yeah.
So there's this to zoom without.
There's this sweet thing UEFA is doing, right? They shoot the football matches with some 8K cameras. Okay, so the camera has a certain wide field of view, so it sees all of the action. But when they want to do the slow-mo, they zoom in. And they go to the action, and the picture quality doesn't depreciate. So you still enjoy what is happening. NFL uses it a lot because of the tackles and stuff. And that's what technology has brought us down.
And as someone in the business, it's just cheaper to do that. Alternatively, what you would have to do is you have a camera shooting wide. Then you have another camera with another lens shooting in. And the in points when it comes to something like sports is so diverse. The action is constantly happening. You don't know when or where the tackle is going to happen. So are you going to put a camera on each division of the field? That's not practical. That is not going to.
So funny story, like you mentioned, right? When you do football production, you can do, I think the barest minimum you can do will be about 6 cameras, right? To do a standard definition game, 6 cameras. But FIFA standards, international standards, FIFA sometimes does 40 cameras in one football park, in one stadium. The last NFL playoffs, they did 120 cameras because they needed to catch every action, every angle, every reaction.
Now, you see, this is interesting because all the effort these people are putting in, and then we sitting in Ghana watching in SD. See, that's where this conversation really is important for me. When do we get to go to HD? When do we get to start to enjoy all this effort? I mean, it would be so painful if I was part of that team that did 120, camera with 4K zooming into that tackle, seeing the sweat dripping as the person jumped super slow-mo, and then somebody's watching on his SD TV saying that the thing blinking like that. I'm not seeing it clearly, but with what you said, if we were watching this content in HD, it means that then it will be immersive.
Yeah.
We would enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
We would appreciate all that effort that people are putting in. Then that TV that my friend was going to spend his 8K on an 8K for would then have use. Other than that, we might as well just pack our HD TVs and go back to the Tikopo TVs and just consume HD content.
Let's not get overexcited, okay?
Yeah.
I am.
No. So there are interesting technologies happening now.
Right.
There are some manufacturers who are compensating the picture.
Right.
Right. They are using artificial technology to compensate, upscale the picture. It's not exactly correct. Sometimes you get the colors wrong, but it is just to compensate. Because not so much 4K content is out there right now, and 4K is expensive. Like we just heard, it's very expensive to transmit. On broadcast side, it's way more expensive. When we used to do Ghana Premier League for DSTV, it was the amount of bandwidth you needed to transmit from Accra to satellite for somebody to watch on his decoder was, we can currently squeeze in about 6 TV channels.
Wow.
Right? The TV channels on the multi-TV box, you could squeeze in 6 TV channels into that bandwidth.
So that's to say, if it was a highway,
yes,
the one car that you were using
to
takes
transmit
6
one
lanes.
football game.
Yeah,
It was like 6 lanes. When the current transmission is taking 1 lane.
1 lane.
Interesting.
So you can imagine the cost that is supposed to be borne by somebody to get
give
this
you that
transmission
quality. So
to the quality.
that's just to say that if TV stations start to give us HD, we must applaud them because it's
yes.
Wait, before we continue, I think we should give the listeners an interesting task to add on to what Michael said. You know, there's some people who don't get it. Back then, when we were watching movies, some people would be like, so why are you waiting for
the
HD
when the cam is out?
People don't really understand. So if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, what you should do right now is, if it's YouTube, start from 1440p. 144p.
Yeah, the
lowest. And then keep taking it up to the highest that is provided. Then see the variation. And when we say keep changing, we mean like put it there for 30 seconds, see it, then take it to the next level. Then when you get to the highest point, come back down. And I think you should let us know what your experience was, what the difference.
Switching from before SD to post HD to see the difference in quality.
I think Joy FM's streams cap at 1080p, right?
720 in some cases, yes.
So you can even take it further. There are 4K and even 8K
videos
on YouTube now.
But
wait, load up on your data first.
I was just about to say. You just told people how much data.
I did warn you. So don't play the entire video at the highest resolution. You only need about 15 seconds.
Yes.
The interesting thing that people also need to know is that Netflix doesn't give you that quality, that control.
Yeah. Just looks at the internet quality you have and then serves you.
Netflix actually does, but it's hidden in settings. It's hidden. So what Netflix?
If it's hidden in settings, then it doesn't do it.
So what Netflix typically does is that it uses your internet capability to determine. However, you can go into settings and force it to stick to one. It's hidden in the settings.
Well, so when you see that,
it is true.
If it's hidden,
it's
because they're more concerned about the experience you're having. You get it.
Which is why they've hidden it, because they want you to have that immersive experience. I've put in this much work to shoot this movie. I watched Tenet.
But Prime Video doesn't do that. Prime Video.
Then again, but Prime doesn't care. I mean,
Prime Video is very interesting because when you choose the quality you want, they tell you how much data it will take. So if you choose
Amazon.
Yeah, that's Amazon. So well, they have the biggest service and everything.
Netflix do that because they don't want you to suffer. Because a trade-off with this thing is, if your internet speed isn't fast and you're going to choose the highest quality speed, you will buffer.
True. Yeah. Because in as much as it's going to cost data, the speed also counts.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be waiting for it to turn circle, then
so Netflix
next.
takes the work from you and they decide for you, right? Okay. And the interesting thing is you can actually be watching HD and it's a switch to SD.
You see it drop
down.
So if you've ever experienced those,
changes in
when the person goes from being smooth to becoming SpongeBob, then yes,
your internet
quality has dropped.
Your internet has
now,
dropped
so right now we are watching SpongeBob, waiting to get to
back to HD.
Back to HD,
it
right?
happens at all.
Watching all those square artifacts. You know, it's so painful when you have to consume content like that.
So I think that one of the things that we need to do for our broadcasters is to support them, because it is not easy. Like, I have been in the broadcast industry for a while, and it's not easy to keep channels running. So I know in this country we don't like pay for content. Nobody will do it.
Of course not.
Nobody will do it. But it's something that we
Let me see TV license.
What happened with that?
Having that discussion.
No, thank you very much.
Because you see, for as long as you don't want to pay for the content, you should be ready to live with bad picture quality.
So let's just hope that we get more advertisers spending more money on our TV stations. Then we can get HD.
And when they do that, watch their adverts, because then they can say that so a number of people are watching these channels at this time. So your advert is doing what it's
Doing
meant
well,
to do, being seen, and they can charge
Don't
for
skip
that.
the ad.
What?
You
Okay,
say
well,
that,
yeah.
But some ads are very suspect.
You know, we're supposed to segue into the other buzzwords, the LEDs, the LCDs, the plasma. A lot of people still call flat screen TVs
Plasma.
now. Even I just threw out a buzzword, flat screen TV, because there were T-Copos that were just flat on the screen, but then people call every flat TV plasma. Some call them LED TV. Now we have OLED TVs and QLEDs. So I'm going to throw it around, starting with you, Winston. We moved from the CRT, the cathode ray tubes, you know, the T-Copo for those who don't know, to LCD, right?
Yeah.
And LCD was just pretty much liquid, just like having
Liquid
a calculator.
crystals. Yeah.
I remember that when you press the screen of a calculator and then the liquid
Yeah, the liquid
dancing around.
Yeah.
So why the change? Why did we go from CRT to LCD?
As the video we played. So basically, LCDs use liquid crystals, where when the electric charge comes in, they emit light. Although there's a back panel that has lights that flashes on these crystals, and then they give off. So it was to get brighter colors, and that's like you said, with each jump, the quality of visuals also improves. So when you have the liquid crystals, that's when we took us from SD. It took us through the SD all the
through HD.
Yes.
HD CRT.
Yeah. And then hold on.
There
are HD
projection
CRTs.
TVs, those big ones.
Okay.
Rear projection TVs.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember moving them. Those
They were like
things.
huge.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on Facebook, comment and leave us a comment if you ever watched a projection TV. The big big TVs, the
Really
upstairs,
big ones.
they were like cabinets.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
then
actually
they
had
had
their
it-
own stands and everything.
Stand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 people to move them, and everybody was praying.
With a slope
solidly.
at the back.
Nobody
If you
slept.
ever had one, leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll come and like it.
If you ever carried it up some stairs and down some stairs, leave a comment that we will.
Why do
heart
you
that
sound so pained right now?
Like
Yeah,
he's
but
you did
carrying.
experience.
I'm really getting serious flashbacks of moving those things around.
Right. So then from that to LCDs and then LEDs.
It's from that to plasma.
Oh yeah, there was plasma
There
during
was
LCDs.
plasma during.
They were about the same intersection.
Yeah.
So
Same time.
the several times is the manufacturer and the inventor of the technology.
Yeah.
So there are times when two manufacturers come with two competing technologies, like DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Have that dance. You get it. So usually when that happens, one naturally wins the battle. So somebody decided to go the plasma route, another manufacturer decided to go the LCD route, and then eventually LCD won the game. Even today, we are still having that fight between
QLED and OLED.
QLED, OLED,
Yeah.
AMOLED. You get it. They are all different types of LED. You get it. But there's a fight.
I mean, there's even mini LED now.
Yeah.
That's also a whole different conversation in this entire thing. But
It's usually just manufacturers and inventors trying to push through their ideas.
Yeah.
If we use electric cars as a typical battle right now, people are saying that do hydrogen, somebody are saying do battery. Eventually, one of them will win.
Will win, yeah.
But we all call of them electric cars anyway.
True.
That's just what
I mean,
happens.
the consumer just needs to remember that all of this is just in the benefit of trying to get the clearest possible picture at the smallest cost for manufacturing, and that's how the dance. And also in the smallest size possible.
Yeah.
Which is why technically our phones now
Have gotten small.
have screen quality comparable to even TVs of today. Forget even of the yesteryear.
Yeah. And also, like you mentioned, size. So if you notice the cathode ray and the the very large on that Michael, it's so when it comes to the technology, when it comes to consumer-based technology, typically we've noticed that the trends have always been in line with being slimmer, being having a bigger screen. Even in most display devices, that's what the thing is. How cost effective is it? How slim is it? How wide is the screen? How much screen do I get?
Yeah.
So that's what the technologies have been focusing on for the most part now. Right now, like I said, it seems like we are reaching the pinnacle of
We've reached
the display.
There's no point going beyond this because your eye will not see it.
I mean,
It's like for the audio people, sampling beyond 444K.
yeah.
For
44,
your ear will not
800,
hear it.
yeah.
It's pointless. So you're just wasting bandwidth at that point.
It's like
Yeah.
very low frequencies that people can never hear.
Yeah.
Then you put it in the music.
But the truth
It's
is,
for the benefit of the pets.
yeah. But the truth is that
Really?
Yeah, they can hear it. You find your dog dancing to a different rhythm than the song, and you're like,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's-
oh yeah, I can hear what you can't hear.
See, I thought about that. Entertainment for you and
And
all
your
of your
pet.
loved ones, including
Wow.
non-humans.
but the truth is
Very
that
good marketing.
You know?
the truth is that when it comes to technology, sometimes it's just for the sake of it.
Well, yeah.
It's just for the sake of it. It's not necessarily
I mean,
for
like
anything.
120 hertz and 240 hertz.
Bro.
No,
No.
yeah, that beyond 120 hertz.
It's pointless.
It's
Some people
pointless.
even say even
There are a lot
60
of
hertz.
things. Yes, there are a lot of things that we do in technology that's in, like the same book you're using. There are a lot of things that are very pointless. They're very pointless. Like, why would you
This
have
is
two
very
screens?
pointful.
That is not pointless.
This is very
The touch
pointful.
bar is pointless.
The touch
That
bar
is
is pointless. Now,
that is not.
This is pointless.
Okay.
you see, you're just
I have
putting
one
your
of it,
Apple
and I find it
bias.
very difficult to just put my hand somewhere.
You know what?
or the
That's why-
keyboard or the
Yeah.
typing.
This is a conversation for
And
another
I'm-
item, but I am in this fight with Spiky. I don't
Thank you
own
very
one
much.
Yes, but I am in this fight with him.
I
Yes.
literally have one still in the box because I took it, I used it, I didn't like it, and I put it back.
And you know me.
Let's be charitable.
So, guys, bottom line, those out there who are wondering, OLED versus QLED. I'm going around the table.
You cannot compare OLED to QLED.
Why not?
The technology is very different.
Very.
right?
True.
Totally different.
True.
The picture quality is very different. The advantage OLED has is that each and every single small pixel drives its own light.
Yeah.
Right.
It is less power consuming and it gives you true blacks. What it does is when there's black, it
Turns
actually
off the
turns
light.
off.
The light.
So it's like my laptop screen. Don't hate.
Yeah.
It's OLED.
The
Yeah.
top
So
one,
is
not the
black.
that one. The
Yeah,
that
I
one
know.
is not.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're using a Samsung or an Apple iPhone, the latest ones from
Yeah.
the X
Yeah.
and from,
Yeah.
I mean, Samsung right from the first one was all OLED.
Yeah.
You'd experience what we were talking about. When you turn off the phone and you turn it on and that Samsung logo comes and you're in pitch black darkness, all you will see is the Samsung. That means that every other pixel around it is off.
And it's also one of the reasons why we are able to successfully and properly do dark mode on our phones now. That's so when people say use dark mode on your phone because it saves energy because the whole
Actually
screen
turning off.
Off
Yeah.
those lights.
It's only turning on where the characters are.
are written.
So if you're using a phone that's an LCD and you're using dark mode, it's
You're wasting your time.
counterintuitive. Thank you very much.
No, that's not, you see it at night when it's
Yes,
screen is
the
supposed-
black is actually a
it's
very
black,
dark
but
grey.
then it's actually transmitting light.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the whole OLED QLED conversation, the truth of the matter is for consumers is actually a factor of variation in sizes, cost, and to some smaller extent, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, you being an engineer, is the image quality. Because typically, the average consumer is not really able to tell. The things they can tell is how much money came out of my pocket and how big is the TV. These are the things that they tell.
I agree with this because I'll use the frame rate example where smartphones started going above 60 hertz. And I was telling someone, look, my phone is battery smooth when you scroll. And the person couldn't perceve this.
Right.
Yeah, you can't.
I
Your
still,
eye
I
cannot
still,
see
I still
beyond-
don't
And the
get why.
person
Your eye
still
cannot see
couldn't
beyond
perceive
50
that
hertz, so
120
everything
hertz.
else is.
I
It's
can.
gimmicks.
Yeah, because you're always looking at that. But
Well,
then
yeah.
is the difference is but then the line shifts when you tell someone, oh, watch this video from this show. it's been upscaled to 60 frames per second, and then instantly that looks a lot more.
So yeah, when you
easy
get
to
that whole
appreciate.
TV show effect on your TV where everything looks so smooth, it doesn't look like a movie anymore. That's a high refresh rate.
I've had people getting sick from that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, rather unfortunate, we have run out of time. We have just a minute to go, and the news is coming up next. We really do hope we've educated people. If we haven't, just leave a comment down in the comment section on Facebook, or you can tweet at us, #JoyGeekSquad, and tell us what you learned from this discussion. If you want us to continue the discussion, also leave a comment. And if you want to join us on Telegram, it's t.me/JoyGeekSquad, t.me/JoyGeekSquad. Enter that into your address bar on your browser, hit go, and then you're in there.
Also, you should tell us if we should do a TV show.
Yeah,
we will do a TV show.
Yeah,
we are doing a TV show.
Yeah, actually, we actually just want to know how many people will be interested in.
This is a practice right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know.
If you tuned in online, well done.
So let us know in the comment section if you want to see a Geek Squad TV show.
Yeah, I guess. So on that, announcements note.
Yeah, you can't say that line.
Yeah, we're going to sign out. My name is Kobby Spiky Nkrumah. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you watched, engage with us as always on social media. My name is Kobby. I'm with Winston, Raymond, and Michael. We'll catch you next week on another episode of Joy Geek Squad.